Hi, this is Robbie Thomas, Bay Area Downsizer. Today, I wanted to discuss about 10 honest reasons why people are leaving the Bay Area. Let's get into it. Reach me anytime at 510-374-2264. So, the Bay Area, home to Silicon Valley, its stunning coastlines, and some of the most innovative companies in the world. But lately, there's been a massive exodus. We are getting real about why so many people are packing up and leaving the place, and that's what they used to call home for decades. So let's get into it. The number one reason is the biggest of all, which is the cost of living. It is absolutely crushing. If you're not making as a family 200 to 300,000 in the Bay Area, it is extremely difficult to have a ease of living in the Bay Area. So we're talking about a medium home price hovering around 1.5 million, and even in a modest two-bedroom apartment, you can run about $3,000 to $4,000 a month. That's not including anything else but rent and mortgage, probably in the $8,000 to $9,000 a month. So that's mortgage level rent in most other places. So unless you're pulling in a tech salary of, as I mentioned, 200 to 300,000, it's nearly impossible to get ahead financially. So people are realizing that they can work remotely, but now there's more pressure from companies asking employees to get back to the office a minimum of 3 days in a week, which makes the commute even harder because one way to in traffic could be about an hour and a half to 2 hours. So you make the same amount of money, but you're working more, you're driving more, you're risking more. The number two reason is the quality of life that has taken a complete nosedive, especially because if you're spending 3.5 hours in traffic every day, and if both husband and wife or the partners, both of them are working and they have a family and children, it is almost next to impossible to spend quality time with each other. So traffic is a nightmare, and your commute could easily eat up all the waking hours, a majority of your waking hours, and then there's no time to cook or spend time with the kids. So that's a major number two. Number three is the rampant homelessness and public safety issues. Even recently in a city called San Ramon, which is a little upscale neighborhood, there was a robbery at a jewelry store. About 20 people rushed in, and that happened so fast. And in the last 2 weeks, it happened in a day. And although they were um, later caught, the damage was done, and it's happening in every high-end neighborhood too. So that is a major thing. And plus, if you're driving by, you will see encampments and tents wherever you go. So that is the major things, and it's not like a small incremental number. There's a dramatic increase in homelessness. You could, in some parts, see open drug use. You can see property crime, and residents feel like that the problem keeps growing without any real effective solutions. Um, in your step, sometimes in certain parks you go, you might even accidentally step over needles. So most families don't even take their children to parks these days. Cars get broken into, and it kind after a period of time it just wears you out completely. Number four are taxes. So California has some of the highest state income taxes in the entire country, and especially if you're a high earner, your tax bracket is higher. So add in property taxes, insurances, and for a 1.5 million home, that's a lot of money. And state tax is 1.25% of the sale price. So if you're there for 10, 30 years, you're paying 1.25% of your taxes, property taxes, not including personal insurance costs, fire insurance, all the other insurance that comes along with it. So people are selling here in the droves, and it's actually an exodus right now. Add to that the job losses and the new H-1B restriction where more and more people in the tech sector are getting laid off and with no guarantee of a renewal of their visa, they are putting their homes on the market. So that's why you see more homes on the market and less buyer interest. So people are moving to non-tax states like Texas, Florida, Nevada, those places. Number five is it's become very tough to raise a family. Don't get me wrong, the weather is fantastic. The rolling hills of California, beautiful weather. Um, I mean, it's got the best of everything. But between the cost of housing, the competitive school systems, and just the general expense of childcare and related activities, childcare could easily cost you between 2,100 to 2,400. There's a lot of squeeze, and if you have 2 to 3 kids, that's a chunk of change that you need to. That's a monthly expense, right? So a family is really squeezed out of all the liquidity that they have. So it's all about affordability right now. So you're often sacrificing space and yard, and if you're going for a condo or a townhouse, then they also comes with it the additional HOA fees, which is now like 600, 650, 700, and even higher every month. So it's become more hard for families to live here. Number six is remote work had changed everything during the pandemic years where people went further and further out into the suburbs to buy their houses. But now, because they are forced back to work 3 out of 5 days in working days, um, they are beginning to put their homes on the market and sell, and they don't have the money to buy another house uh, close to the work area. So what they're doing is they move out to Austin, Denver, or Boise, which also has a tech hub. May take a small cut in salary, but they're willing to change their lifestyle together with it. So number seven is the environmental concerns and natural disasters. So wildfire season during the peak of summer brings smoke and poor air quality for weeks, sometimes for months. You're not allowed to light, fires at home. I mean, like, wood burning, anything. You'll get a notice on the poor quality in your email or on the websites, and it's not good to light fires during the time. So droughts are also becoming more severe, and there's always the underlying earthquake list risk. The entire California coastline has got an earthquake fault line, and especially in the Bay Area. So people are factoring these environmental issues into their long-term plans. And when you combine that with overcrowding, uh, the strain on the resources, and some folks are choosing to just relocate to areas with fewer climate concerns. Number eight is the Bay Area used to be the place for tech and innovation, but now, as I mentioned earlier, there's Austin, Seattle, Denver, Miami, and dozens of other cities that are thriving tech scenes. So the opportunities aren't just concentrated just in Silicon Valley anymore, and they have more choice. So people can advance their careers without dealing with just the Bay Area challenges. The monopoly on innovation is completely broken, especially now with the advent of AI, and is restructuring of companies and technologies. Number nine is the policies of the state that make it harder and harder for people to. I mean, the original idea why they moved to the Bay Area has been shifted, and with more and more restrictions from the government and local cities, and including investors. Investors are not incentivized to buy anymore because of the new rules and regulations and laws and cap on rent, that people are not so crazy about buying more homes in the Bay Area. In fact, that's one of the reasons why people are thinking of selling and moving out. So these are the nine. The tenth one, which is very real. In fact, I always ask my clients when they're selling, what is the specific reason that they are thinking, and 9 out of 10 they say they are burnt out and they're just looking for a complete change, for a new life. So, although this was a great, fantastic place to start their life at a few decades ago, when they had bought their house, they don't see the fun in living in the area anymore because of the work culture, because of the hustle mentality, the constant pressure to perform, the children under tremendous peer pressure. So after years of grinding in their environment, people are just burnt out. So they're seeking a slower paced life, a more work-life balance, and communities where their job title doesn't define their worth. So it's not just about the money. So sometimes it's not just about what you're leaving, but what you're moving towards. So they choose a slower paced life, and that's the major reason why they put their houses on the market to sell. So they once they made their mind to sell, they will sell, and there's more reasons why, but they're lesser. I just want to stick to the 10 uh, honest reasons. Reach me anytime, Robbie Thomas, Bay Area Downsizer, 510-374-2264. Please like, subscribe, and share the video with anybody else who's looking to sell or for any real estate conversation. Thank you. Bye.